let's go and have a look at the mushroom room. Follow me. So here we are in the mushroom house. This is where we grow all of the mushrooms for our mushroom parfait dish. And then some others as well that feature on the menu. So these are our hen of the woods. So this is a slow growing mushroom. It takes around about 2.5 months to grow. They typically grow on hardwood trees in the UK, and the season's quite short for them. So it's quite hard to recreate the growing conditions in here. Down here we've got a golden Enoki variety. These will take about 1.5 weeks to grow, and once they start fruiting, they just go absolutely crazy and then triple in size and volume. You can see the first stages of the lion's mane here. So this stage here is what they call the pinning stage. So it's where just a small block of mycelium comes to the surface where you've exposed it to the oxygen. You've got this massive buildup of mycelium around here, which once that buildup becomes strong enough and potent enough, that propagates the culture, and the introduction of oxygen makes it basically explode out of these mushroom grow bags. This is what it will turn into in just a very short space of time. So this is a beautiful lion's mane mushroom. So the idea for the mushrooms came from a little bit of time during lockdown where it became a bit of a trend to grow mushrooms, and people had a little bit too much time on their hands just to coincide with the home sourdough craze. But yeah, I got a mushroom kit, and then we started playing around with the idea that we'd seen an exhibition at the V&A that we went to a while ago, and it was growing mushrooms on old coffee. So we thought it'd be really cool if we could use all of our coffee waste to grow mushrooms in the restaurant for the restaurant. So this is an ultrasonic humidifier. So this just keeps a relative humidity in the room. We're looking for about 75% to 85%. We're looking for a temperature of between 16 to 18 degrees, maintained constantly. And really, once these mushrooms are in this space, they kind of they do their own thing. They take about 1.5 weeks, and then as soon as they get to the pinning stage, then their growth exponentially starts. So they'll typically double in size every day. That's a good guide. The substrate that we use is a mixture of hardwood oak chips, sawdust, and then used coffee. So it's a super interesting, sustainable way of using up something that would otherwise go in the bin to grow and produce something that we use in the restaurant. You know, a lot of restaurants, they champion foraging, they champion growing your own. Well, unfortunately, we're in bloody central London. It so happens that the largest amount of weight of produce that you can produce in such a small space can be achieved with a mushroom setup. So we can produce about 20 kilos of mushrooms in a fairly rudimentary setup, just with the right technology. Right, isn't it? Just with the right technology and information and know-how. It's quite easy to grow your own without a huge amount of effort long term, just an initial setup cost and time commitment. So yeah, these are just a really simple LED light bulb with a little bit of ultraviolet as well. It's a little bit less aggressive as a light form for them to grow by. The rule is, if you could read a book by candlelight and read the words, that's exactly how much light a mushroom needs to grow. But it does need a constant humidity, and that's the most important part. So what will happen if they don't have good humidity is they'll get very grey and very yellow and very dry, and they won't grow properly and they won't reach their maximum yield. So this is all about keeping the humidity high, temperature exactly consistent, and keeping the environment well ventilated. They need lots of movement of air to breathe properly. So we're growing at the moment, we're growing hen of the woods, which they're a slow growing mushroom family originating in Asia, some native to the UK, but they're quite difficult to grow. So we don't grow too many of those. We grow quite a large amount of golden Enoki, which is a smaller mushroom variety that grows in sort of individual strands. It's got quite a sweet and aromatic flavour. And then we also grow the lion's mane mushroom, which is quite large, quite impressive. Part of the tooth fungus family, but lots of amazing health benefits to it. I personally eat it every day just to keep sharp and focused.
Just scraping the mushroom parfait. Basically, we cook the parfait in these terrines in like essentially a water bath in the oven. It sets and you get like the perfect wobble. So we put it in the fridge, kind of let it cool down a bit, and then in the morning we work it a bit, and then we put it into these piping bags. And yeah, get it in the bag. You want to scrape it a bit. Give it a nice little spin. Yeah, and that's ready to be packed for service.
So we've seen AJ bagging up the parfait downstairs once it's set and been left for 24 hours. So we'll have these bags upstairs for service, and then we simply take these lovely wooden boards that we have made especially for the parfait. We just pipe the parfait onto the board. Now to balance out the whole dish, we're just going to add some really thinly sliced pickled shallots. Just literally shallots that have been sliced on a mandolin, rinsed in water to take away that raw onion flavour, and then just sugar, vinegar and salt and water. That's going to add a really nice acidity and cut through the richness. Also, to mimic that intense mushroom flavour, I've got a few marinated shiitakes. So we take the shiitake mushrooms and we just thinly slice them, fry them off to remove the excess water out of the mushroom, and then we marinate them in soy and mirin, so it's kind of just replicating that intense flavour that's in the mushroom puree. So a few of those are just kind of scattered over the top. And then finally, we have the amazing fresh lion's mane mushroom that you saw Will using in the mushroom room. So we just pull these apart into really nice strands. And it has this kind of like, almost like a mouth tingling kind of sensation from the mushroom because it's raw, and it just adds like another level of mushroom flavour which you wouldn't normally associate. And if you've ever tried like raw mushrooms, like even like mushrooms as simple as button mushrooms, it adds a real kind of like minerally freshness to things, whether it's shaved or grated or just pulled over like we are here. So we're just literally pulling the mushrooms into strands, and just a little bit goes over the top. So what we do to finish off the parfait, we just serve it with a couple of pieces of really nicely grilled sourdough, which has been brushed with English rapeseed oil infused with rosemary, thyme and garlic. And there you have it. So this is our fallow mushroom parfait, completely vegetarian, staple on our menu and probably here for a very long time.